So if we get disrupted, we've talked a lot about disruption, or have to reimagine the supply chain, as is the theme of this year's conference, how do we do it fast enough? Well, one way is by embracing digital and disruptive innovation with an agile and data-driven mindset. And this is what our next speaker is going to talk about. We've already been acquainted with her during the panel. I'm talking about Sari Hilden, who, as I mentioned, is Head of Transformation and Development at Posti, a Finnish development company. And I just want to add that Sari has 25 years of experience on software, on processes, on practice development, and she was also awarded OPEC's Woman of the Year Award for outstanding individual and organizational achievements. So let's hear more about this and give it up for Sari Hilden.
Thank you very much. Great to be here. And like I said, my name is Sari Hilden, and I'm going to share with you the topic of embracing digital and disruptive innovation with an agile and data-driven mindset. You heard my background, but I've been working mainly in the bigger companies, and now last year's focusing on bringing the agile mindset into the companies, and also introducing these innovation practices so that we can engage everyone in the company to work together towards the good innovations. I work for Posti, which is a logistic company providing postal, parcel and warehousing services. We are living in the world that is changing a lot, and now I'm going to share with you a short video about the world where we are and where we are operating today.
Ever since Posti was founded in 1638, a lot of change has taken place in the world. Our customers have always been at the center of what we do. Today, this is more important than ever. It's fair to say that we are now entering the most exciting era of our history. We are on a mission of delivering dreams, and this journey demands excitement, experimentation, and bold and ambitious action. New skills and a new mindset is needed to succeed in the transformation. The way we work, live, and play is changing. Work is being redefined, and learning is an integral part of our everyday life. Digitalization continues to turbocharge the speed of change. The world becomes smaller, time and place become irrelevant. The digital and physical blur into one. Creativity, empathy, and trust, not data, are the new oil. Connected cities drive growth, innovation, and attract the best talent. People and companies need borderless collaboration to deliver value in a sustainable manner. How we consume, build, and transport things has changed forever. It is not anymore about guessing the customer needs and producing masses of cheap products. The planet we inhabit has said enough is enough. The good news is that we at Posti have a plan. We are committed to reinvent zero-carbon services and take a major role to reduce our footprint together with customers. When the world is in a turbulent and uncertain state, we need to embrace the unknown together. With a bold and ambitious common goal, we can create a better everyday for everyone and move towards delivering dreams. Big changes need a big plan. Are you ready? What can you do today?
What can you do today? What I'm going to share with you is that how are we at Posti doing the innovations and using the agile ways of working for that one. But before going there, just a really quick wrap up. What is really the digital and disruptive innovations? We have been talking about them many times already today, but just kind of from my perspective, what I'm sharing here is that the digital innovation is something that we are doing with help of digital technology. And then the disruptive innovation, on the other hand, is something that really has high impact on the market and utilizing new technology on there. And the agile mindset itself, it's kind of the way how we support or how do we operate, how do we work. And with that agile mindset, we we kind of set the focus on providing value to our customers, using a kind of incremental improvements and learning cycles, as well as focus on being able to adapt to the change. So that is something that we need in this changing world. And then when we are talking about different things, we always need to, in addition to explain what, we need to explain why. And why do we need this? This is really that the world we are living today, it's really changing a lot. We can't really predict what's happening next year or even what's happening in 3 months' time. So we need to be able to be prepared of a way of working so that we are able to change as needed. So customer experience, that is something that we want to provide for our customers. But what is the customer experience? What is it today? What is it next month or year from this point? So we need to be able to understand that one. And also that is setting the position for our company in the market. Because if we are not constantly following that up, it might be that there comes some other company who is disrupting our business totally, and then that is what we want to avoid. And for that one, kind of building the capabilities in the company that we are able to react on these changes that we are not able to forecast beforehand, so that we can really change as needed. We need to build a kind of way of working so that we can react on those changes. And now I'm going to share you how do we do this innovation to be able to keep us relevant in the market and being there in the market also in next year and in 10 years and in 100 years from now if needed. So we have agile teams at Posti, and they are working, they have their backlogs and they are working on those ones. They get guidance or targets from the top level that is coming from our strategy, and that is kind of turned into the objectives and key results, and those are split into the quarterly key results so that we know what is expected from each team for the next quarter. And the teams are thinking that, okay, to be able to contribute on these key results, what do we need to do? Do we need to innovate something new, or is it something that we do daily basis? Is that enough? And kind of we are challenging people to also think outside of the box. So what can we do in order to be able to deliver better services for our customers? And those are the things that if we have a team who is able to implement those ideas themselves, then of course they can put the ideas on their backlog, and then they develop them during the next quarter or next year or whatever the time frame for that is. But that is not the case in most of the time. Most of the time these ideas are such that that team can't deal with themselves. So for that one, we need another way of working. So we have a place where everyone can contribute and share their ideas, and the other ones can see these ideas there, and they can like them. And when they are liking those ideas, the bubbles are kind of growing, and we can see that the liked ideas are having the biggest bubbles there. And then there is one team who is kind of facilitating this idea factory, so that they are seeing that, okay, is this idea something that our existing team can handle already? If it is, then it is shared for that team's backlog, and then they are taking care of it. But sometimes it requires totally new team, and that is what we are then building. So if it's an idea worth of looking forward, we build a new team, but then we grant the finance, or we give the money for that one only for a short time period. So it means that we are embracing this really rapid experimentation with that one, so that the team needs to, within 1 or 2 months' time, provide the value for that idea, so that it gets more funding to be able to continue. So that is kind of the way of really fostering the rapid innovation practices there. And sometimes these ideas are growing, and then at some point we hope them to become this disruptive innovation that creates new business. And what I'm going to share with you next is one of these these disruptive type of innovators that we are working with at the moment. It's called Space, And it is intended for small and medium-sized merchandises who want to automate their business. So they want to automate their warehousing as well as delivery services. So if you have a stock that you are managing yourself, you might, at some point, you might want someone else to help with that one. And this is the product that is, or solution that is answering on that need. Fully digitized. Customers can onboard with downloading an app, and then they can add their own warehouse, or they can add their own stock into their system. So if they are already utilizing a service that the customers can order, then they can integrate that one with our platform. And then they can move their own stock into our warehouse, and once their customers are starting ordering stuff, we are taking care of the delivery. So we are kind of hiding the complexity of warehousing and delivery services from the customers, offering them an easy interface where they can just monitor how it is going, and we take care of the rest. Even the contract is easy to sign, so it is with a couple of mouse click, you order the contract, and then you are fine to start. So this is one of these ideas that we are working at the moment with, and all this is developed with utilizing agile practices. Everything that we do, we keep our customer in center. So in this case, we have had two customers. One who is making the contract with us, so these merchandises, and the other one are their end customers, so who are ordering the product from the market, and then to whom we are delivering those products. So whenever we make a decision, we need to always think that, okay, if we are sitting on the customer's shoes, what would that decision impact on their interest on having this product? It is really following this rapid experimentation. We have a team who has been kind of working in weekly cycles. Every week they set a goal for them, what they're going to do in that week, and the whole team is focusing on that topic. And then they fix it or develop it and then make it ready, and then seeing what they can do in next week. At the end of the week, they always sit back or sit down and look back. What can we do better next week? And then once they find the improvement ideas, then they are embedding that to the work they are doing. So, and minimizing waste. This is something that we face many times, that waiting for someone else to be doing their part before we can continue. And this team has built a way that they have their business people, they have their designers, they have their developers and testers all in the same team, so that they can do everything by themselves, or most of the things by themselves, without needing wait for someone else to do it. So that is kind of the way of operating, and having that one there in the background is really making sure that we have been able to develop this from idea to actionable product or solution within 3 quarters. So it is ready for testing with the pilot customers in any days today. And then how do we utilize data for this one? In the video, it was said that the creativity, empathy, and trust are the new oil, not data. But it doesn't mean that we wouldn't need data anymore. That is totally something that we need to be able to first make the fact-based decisions. We need to understand the customer needs. What are the customers expecting from us? And from there, find these business opportunities as well as challenges. We need data to be able to contribute on or follow up the solution development. So where we are, where do we have the bottlenecks? What do we need to fix to be able to move on with the development part? And then what is the impact when we deliver something with for the customer? What is the impact we can make with this solution or service or whatever we are delivering to the customer? And this all needs to be measurable and requires data for that. And all of these are affecting on the portfolio. So what are the services, what are the products, what are the solutions we are offering for the customer? And we need to actively manage the portfolio so that we are ramping down the things that are not necessarily needed anymore, and then introducing new ones so that we can keep us relevant from the customer's perspective. And that's where we need the data to be able to keep us relevant. So that was a really quick walkthrough how we at Posti are working towards delivering our dreams. I hope that has given you some ideas how you can take that back to your own companies and taking that for your journey, delivering your dreams to your customers. I'm happy that was really fast, so I'm happy to really connect with you offline, and we can continue this discussion offline. Thank you.
Thank you, Sari. And thank you also for really exemplifying, from a to-do perspective of how Posti really has, integrated both the uses of data, technology, and sustainability. And not only you have been awarded, Posti has also been awarded quite a few times with reference to this. So it's really rewarding to hear about your strategies. I wanted to also ask you, and then see if we have any questions from the audience, having sort of listened through today's conference and coming from the supply chain, coming from, the challenges and opportunities, is there anything that has sort of resonated extra with you? Because, we're talking about seeing companies as an organism, regenerative process, and so forth. What has sort of stuck with you?
It's something that kind of the whole complexity of all the things. It is something that if you start thinking that all, it just might get you confused that, hey, where should I focus? What should I do in order to be able to survive in this complex world that we have been hearing, and what are the challenges there? But kind of what I'm still focusing on that, hey, take a small steps there. So take from that complexity where you can impact and where you can have the kind of possibility to do the change, and focus on that one, fix that one, and then take the next one. So don't try to fix everything at once, because that doesn't really work.
And do you find on a sort of employee and team level that this kind of transition, is it well received? Are people sort of like, oh, that's, or do you have to sort of tweak it a bit to actually, really get through to the teams and employees about it?
We are all different, so we all take that in a different way. But what I've seen really beneficial in this approach that we have now introduced at Posti is that when you get the guidance, you get the understanding why are we doing these things, and when you understand that, then you can start thinking yourself that, hey, this is what we need. How can I contribute? And when you kind of go over that line that it's not anymore you are told to do something, but you are kind of understanding why I'm doing this, then that is helping a lot. And giving these kind of targets or where to aim to, that has been taken very nicely back, and people are kind of giving thumbs up that, hey, it is really great to know exactly what are expected from us.
I think that's a really good point to also convey that, we talk about the reason of why, and sometimes people can find it's difficult to make it tangible, finding your why. But this is a very tangible example of finding your why. Expressing it is also a navigator that actually also get people on board, because they have a bit more navigation and know their tasks, and they feel part of the process. Thank you. And questions from the audience?
Yes, we have initially at least one question. So this one is about agile change. The question is, what would you say are key components that you need to have in place in any company in order for companies to be able to agilely change when changes from the outside occur in order to maintain your profitability, your competitiveness, and your sustainable operations?
First of all, you need to understand this why. So this is the changing company from company. So why do we need to change? We are not changing just become an agile company. It doesn't bring anyone anything. So what are the real tangible problems that we want to solve with becoming an agile company? So understanding that one and then focusing on that part. Because in agile you have so many different practices, you have so many different ideas, you have so many different areas where you can focus on. So find first what is the most important thing that we as a company need to focus on, and then start building on top of that one.
Thank you, and that's the last question for today.
That's the last question for today. Thank you so much, Sari, and thank you also to Posti for being that vehicle of inspiration that we can also look to see how we can do different strategies. And thank you for all that you're doing and for participating today.
Thank you.